Welcome to America's Premier Experts. I'm Jess Todd-Feld, your host. When it comes to marketing, for businesses, big or small, the #1 place they need to be and be worrying about is, our next guest, Lindsay Dix, tells me it is?
Online.
Online.
Absolutely.
And there are a number of big strategies that they may not even be employing.
Yeah, you know, I see that all of the time with people that come to us and really having trouble. You know, they have a website and it's just kind of hanging out, not really doing anything. And one of the things I talk to them about is a strategy called content marketing, which is something we're really encouraging our clients to use.
Now, the average website for any type of business is informational.
Right.
You just see this is where we are, these are the types of clients that we have. That's not exactly helping them like it could be.
No, because most of the time it's information about them, which is good because you want to build that personal relationship always.
We're talking about marketing, Mike.
But it's not giving you that educational content that people are looking for. And content is king on the internet. It always will be. And it's the biggest thing right now. So you really have to educate the consumer. That's why Google's the big player. That's why YouTube and all those things are so important. Because people are looking for their own information. They want to gather it. They want to educate themselves so that when they're ready to buy, they come to you. But that's the educational part.
Is that the #1 place people start, you think? Google?
Absolutely. Absolutely. #1 thing. I mean, that's what everybody does. You meet somebody, you learn about a business.
Not a phone book anymore, or maybe a referral, but Google.
Yeah,
go straight to, and obviously any of the search engines, Google being the #1.
Absolutely, yeah.
And what do they want to do that's different than what they've done before? And this is very important marketing. They need more now than ever.
Yeah, they don't want to be sold. People don't want to be sold anymore. They want to collect their own information and on their own time and then use it when they're ready. That's why that content marketing is so important, balling up your information and then using those strategies to syndicate it online. And I think the big piece that people miss is that it doesn't always have to be on your website. It's important that your content is out there, but if it's a press release on a third-party site, if it's a video in YouTube, if you've done a guest comment on somebody else's blog, it doesn't matter where that content and where that information is, as long as it's out there and people are finding it and then obviously coming back to your website.
And that's pretty interesting because I think about my own web habits, and sometimes you want to solve a problem. You go out looking for some free information, and I guess I have found articles or pieces of information where I said, wow, I really need to work with these people.
Yeah.
So you're saying they were doing it the right way.
Absolutely. Quite often you find the information you want not on a specific website. It's a press release, you know, it's CNN or, you know, one of these aggregated sites that bring in all of the information into one place, and then you find what you're interested in and then go and look for further information from that company or that person.
Right. And now you do this for your clients.
Absolutely.
Right. You've become the expert for it. In fact, they've called you the online celebrity agent.
That's right.
You're people's agent, so to speak. You're very Hollywood.
Yep.
We shoot the show in Hollywood, so very Hollywood, but I know that's what people have called you. What else are you doing specifically that's really giving them the edge? Everybody needs the edge right now.
It's really social media. That's the big thing right now. Making sure you're using the best strategies out there. You know, using the Twitters and the Facebooks, the LinkedIns, the social bookmarking, article syndication, press release syndication, all of that stuff to get your content out there so that people can find you.
And there are a lot of people who are listening right now who say, I hear what you're saying, but I'm busy with my business and I know I need to be there. So then what should they do if they're stuck in the middle?
Contact somebody. You know, that's what we help our clients with.
And you do it as well.
We do. Quite often, you know, our clients can do it. It's not, you know, it's not rocket science. Certainly the strategies are out there. You can teach it to yourself.
She's being very modest. I know that she's taken a number of clients to the top of Google.
Absolutely.
And that has a pretty profound impact on their business, doesn't it?
It's huge. Actually, I was talking to a client the other day. He does law enforcement.
Yes.
They sell systems in law enforcement. And I was talking to him the other day, CEO of his company, and they were getting good traffic to their website before. They were getting like 7,000 hits a month, which is good traffic.
Sure.
But after coming to us and you know, us using some of our strategies with him, he's now seeing 13,000 and 14,000 people to his site a month. And we also tweaked the site a little bit. He had no lead capture on his website whatsoever. So he was getting all this traffic and he's like, why am I not getting any conversions? What's going on? So we made some little tweaks and adjustments on his website. So he's definitely benefiting from all of it.
I mean, just thinking for the business people who watch this show, what would it mean if they were able to double the leads or even add 2% more leads? Boy, that would be pretty amazing.
Yeah, you know, you really have to think about your website like you do any other aspect of your business. You don't just kind of throw up the sign on your business and say, okay, I'm here, I'm ready,
Right.
I'm open. You know, you market your business, and it's,
Yeah.
you know, marketing your business, marketing your website online. It's the exact same thing. Strategies are a little bit different, but the same thing.
And gee, everybody thinks it would be nice to have a big Super Bowl ad.
Yeah.
But you were actually telling me on the break that this many times is even better than a Super Bowl ad.
Yeah, because a lot of these strategies are free. And you know, if not free, very, very low cost. So it allows these smaller business owners, the solo entrepreneurs, to compete with the Coca-Colas in their industry. You know, certainly they're not going to buy those advertisements, but they don't have to. As long as they can dominate the search engines using social media and content marketing and all these strategies, that's all that matters. And you can do that either low cost or actually no cost.
What are the other obstacles that you find business people say they have? And I suspect that you clear them away. What do you find?
One of the biggest is industry jargon. We all have things that we use in our industry that we talk about, maybe phrases or something that we talk about and we think our clients are using. Well, quite honestly, those aren't the keywords that people are actually searching for. People search like they talk. So that is one of the biggest things that I talk to with my clients is let's really boil down and find out what people are searching for. You know, skip all of your words and what you call it. What are these people searching for? Because once you know those keywords, that's what you use in everything else.
And that is a great nugget. We're talking about speaking the language of Google.
Yeah.
Speaking the language of what people are looking at.
You got to speak the language of your clients, and you got to speak the language of your prospects and of Google. Absolutely.
And I guess you've hit the point where you can scan through somebody's website and you can start to pick and pull apart all of the places they're going wrong.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. That's kind of the fun part for me. That's what I really enjoy is getting a new site and being like, oh, what can I do with this?
Right, right.
So yeah, and implementing some of those things that I see mistakes all the time.
Right. And some of the stories, I know you said that you have so many great stories that you had of some of these companies that have been able to make some big leaps and bounds. Some of the others that you can tell us about today? You don't have. You could leave names out if you're not supposed to mention names.
You know, it's funny because everybody's results vary, certainly, because the niches are so specific. So somebody who's got a lot of traffic in one industry, it might not be a lot of traffic in somebody else's industry. So my biggest thing is just taking someone from someplace and seeing their growth and continuing to work with them. So they're getting more conversions, they're getting more dollars into their pocket, they're getting, you know, more sight, their names out there, more awareness, they're becoming the expert in their field, all of those things.
Right. What's the cost of not making these marketing changes right now?
What's the cost of not marketing your business? $0 coming in the door. I mean, there's not, you have to. You absolutely have to use these strategies online because if you're not, your competition is. So you've got to keep up with them to compete.
Right. And even the small business owner locally who says, oh, hey, I just have a website that's just there as a virtual business card.
Yeah.
They should be employing these techniques.
Absolutely.
They should be selling globally.
Well, it's not, you don't even have to do it globally. You can think on a local market. If your market is specific to where you're located and very local, you can use these strategies just on a local level. It doesn't have to be globally. Now
that you mention it, I've used Google's local search.
Yep, absolutely.
For information that I'm looking at in my town, my area.
Yeah, it's a great tool, and again, it's a free tool. A lot of these are free tools out there and free things that you can use.
And there's a way you position people so that they can be in the right spot, big or small.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, if you're not using these strategies, you're missing out completely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And this is one of those areas, those industries that seems to be changing monthly. In my opinion.
I'd say it's even more than that.
Yes.
It changes
monthly and
daily.
Every day I hear somebody saying, no, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. Do you filter it all down? Do you get rid of what is hype and wrong? How do you deal with all that?
I have a lot of RSS feeds coming into my inbox. Yeah.
And you can read all that. I guess you have to, doing what you're doing.
You know what? Maybe I'm a nerd, I'm a geek, whatever, but I really enjoy this stuff for me. So for me, it's not work. I like staying up to date with that sort of stuff. I got so excited last week when Google came out with their real-time search stuff. I was just excited and fascinated. I could care less what was going on, but I just sat there and watched it because that's a whole shift in my industry and what's going on, and it's changing the way we search. It's changing the way we use Google. It's changing the way we put out information. It's changing everything about online.
Right. You're getting excited because you know what it means for your clients. And I guess they don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
they're focused on the results.
There's some really cool things that, because all of that's happening, that people are going to be able to take advantage of and really promote their business using those things.
I know you're a person who's hard to get, but where can they find you?
Website.
Yes. What is the website, the place to go to find you?
CelebritySites.com.
Celebrity Sites. And Lindsay Dix is the online celebrity agent. Thank you so much for being here
Thank
today.
you for having me, Beth.